All right, that should be the mic. I'm going to try to do... Hello. So I've moved back to OBS. Prism is not doing it for me. I don't know what's going to happen with this. Oh, and I'm going to have to fix... That's another thing. I'm going to have to get my old Nemesis... the streaming thing set up. If I can remember how to do that. So it's on screen. So give me a minute. I'm muted so I don't hear myself talking. Pop out chat, and then social stream ninja. Get that link. This should be the same. Okay. Test. All right, cool. So that's good. Leave that up. You're gonna leave this up. Forget what I gotta leave up. One of these I have to leave open and I can't remember which one it is. Anyway, we'll just leave it all up. The microphone will pick up stuff, but I don't know how to do the desktop audio. It doesn't give me, it's got an audio input capture. There may be a desktop input capture. I'm just playing with it at this point. I apologize. Cable output. Nope, I don't want any of that. So I say cancel. And I just need the source for this one. Because otherwise this is it's just the microphone twice. What happens if I mute it? If I mute it, does it both go away? Do you still hear music when I do this? That should just be music, so we'll see how that works. All right, cool. Chat, instructions. Oh, and when I minimize that, okay, that goes away. So I think we're back to square one. Yeah, I think my grand experiment with Prism is that it's... I don't know if this is going to be any better, but that's twice now that the software is just shut down on me. So, and I don't believe it was sending all the proper information up to YouTube, so I just don't like it. It felt a little cheap anyway, so we'll see if OBS is any better. I feel like Prism was just built off OBS software. So I launched OBS. It's all updated. We'll see how it goes. So, Anyway, thanks for coming back. I appreciate you guys coming back. It's always nice to be able to actually talk to people or know that somebody's listening. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here building. Which, if I was just going to do that by myself, I'd put on Lord of the Rings or something in the background. Ooh, super cool pieces. Super cool pieces. Look at that. This is a 1x4 or 2x4 curved wedge in black. That's slick AF. And I've built a Batmobile. That is tasty. You can see the distinction in part type from the reflection of the light. One is very shiny and the other one's very matte. There's actually a surface on there. I've always been interested why it's built like that. This color piece now in black. We had dark nougat before. I was talking to somebody about the process of going to the black. I think we've got these in like trans yellow and coral. I haven't seen one in black yet. I think we saw one in white. So that's pretty cool. The process of going to the Capitol Preservation Board people and saying, here's the colors that are available in Lego. And at the time they were called light flesh, medium dark flesh. And I think dark flesh too. And to go before them and say, these are the colors that we can do the Capitol in. We can do tan, but also there's all these other colors. Slides into that. One of the colors is medium dark flesh, and they just look at you with horror, and you're like, yeah, it's a little weirder than it sounds. So, all right, there's one leg. It's one sexy leg. You can stop right here and make a lamp. A major award. All right, bag 3. We're gonna do this all over again. I should have been building these in parallel. Because I think these are going to be the exact same things. Could have been up to bag 4 by now. Because I don't think they're going to be any different. He's a robot. They're symmetrical, I would think. That'd be a cool thing to do for the instructions. For expert builders, say if you'd like to build this in parallel, just reverse these, just do the mirror of all these steps with bags 3 and 4. I don't know, that might be a fun option. What do you all think of that? That might be a bit much for most people, and I get that. Like, I think if that were offered to Beth, her brain might explode. She has a real hard time with spatial stuff as it is. And not everybody's got a big layout where they can kind of dump 2 bags out. So, just a thought. I would do it. I don't know that you'd be saving any time, but I think it'd be fun. And I need my 1x4. Can I make this chat window any bigger? Yeah, there we go. Kala Plus play Five Nights at Freddy's 2. you want me to play that, this isn't a gaming channel. Or are you playing Five Nights at Freddy's 2? Nope. Just building and designing and doing Lego stuff on this here channel. But thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. Hope you stick around. Hope you subscribe. And you can see later what kind of fun we get up to. I take that back. I have played a game on here before. That won't mean I won't play again. It's just that this isn't primarily a gaming channel. I played the old TIE Fighter games. I need to get back into that. Like, I dropped that real quick, and I don't remember why. I'm gonna try to get into a few more PC games. And maybe we'll intersperse this with some video games. I might try to do Battlefront 3 on PC just to see what all the fuss is about. Because I feel like there's an aiming ability that you can get on... I already did that. PC that's easier than console because your mouse movement's a little more precise than your controller movement. But it's cross-platform, so I would think like PC players are dominating. You're at night 4. So is the game itself like based off, is it like it's a survival game? Horror survival? And you have to get through 5 nights to win, basically? Is there more to it than just, do you plan? Do you like build up stuff? I know nothing about the property. I know there's a movie. I know there's games. That's about my knowledge of it. I know it exists. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's a huge global phenomenon that the kids love. It's $8. It's $8 on Steam. I'll probably... There's a lot of games on Steam that I'm like, oh, I should go play that. But I'm like trying to remember all the old games that I'd play in like the 90s and early 2000s where I'm like, I wonder if they still have that. I'm like, yeah, but it's... I mean, I guess you could still play it, but you need an emulator or it's $3, you know, on Steam. I'm like, cool, I'm gonna play it. All the games are still sister locations, just saying. Okay. Well, as soon as I'm got a break from, I really need to be doing the Q2 designing. Let's see if I pop that up real quick. Design, display capture. So this is where we left off with the Q2 Stadium. Khaled Plouse, this is usually what I'm doing. I'm building occasionally, but most of the time I'm in studio making stuff. And this is the current project, is Austin FC Stadium. Did the shops yesterday, got them to a point where I'm happy. So the next one is to do the next shop over here, pull this section out, make sure this is all cleaned up, make sure that I can get the seating properly mounted. I might go in here in real life and build this out of just whatever bricks I have, just to make sure it works. Not super happy with all these underneath brackets, all these pylons holding everything up, but that just may be just do whatever you need to do to make sure it's stable. Like it's not seen by anybody. So that's a different project. I don't think I've got any... So this is also coming along. This is the Horizon Zero Dawn doing the advent calendar. So I want to get this all done. I got a guy in our Lego group who prints. So I want to do 4 minifigs with prints on them. That could be a stream. That's maybe what I might do Thursday, or throw in a Tuesday or something and work on some designs. See if I can kind of figure out what vector software that I need to get a design made. This is, I don't think I've got any in progress microfighters. Those are done. That's done. That got done. That got done. Oh, here's one. I need to finish the A-Team van microfighter. And then these are the 2 Batmobiles that I got done. I've got to do how many more? So we've got 89. This is awful big, but that's the animated series. So we need classic. We've got 89. We'll need the 90s. So Batman Returns. Then we'll need a tumbler. I don't think I've done a tumbler. A tumbler, and then the Robert Pattinson version. So just like a Chevy Charger. But yeah, all these other kind of 80s cars I'll probably end up doing. The next Star Wars one, I don't know. Let me look at my list. I don't think I've got... there's a lot to design here. What did I stick at the end? A Scythopede shuttle, partisan fighter, freighter. Oh, I didn't finish that? Yeah, that's done. This was... Oh, no, I need to finish this. So this is Saw Gerrera's partisan freighter. It's based off the YV-865 Aurora class freighter that was used by the, I'm going to get the name wrong, but it's the cat-faced aliens in Star Wars that are the slavers. So this ship's based off that. So I need to go back in here and finish that. That can be the next one we'll work on. So other than that, yeah, the stadium, also working on just all the things. More Horizon. I think Slither Speed or Slither Fang. We're working on a Slither Fang, but it needs to be pretty big. So I was working on different ways to do segments. If you've noticed, there was somebody who posted on Reddit. They posted a Tremor Tusk, like a really big mock version of a Tremor Tusk. It wasn't minifig scale. It was a little larger than minifig scale, but it was really nice. So there's a lot of things we're working on for in studio. So stay tuned, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll just keep working on stuff. I Have the High Grounds would be a great coffee joint. Star Wars themed hot coffee joint. I Have the High Grounds. In the meantime, I had to switch up software mid-stream today because my other stream software was giving me grief and I was tired of it. So, hello Dominic, how are you? Dominic Z from DE. Are you from Denmark? Is that DE? I don't know if that's why it's giving me that code or not. Pretty nice of them to do orange and red to match the orange and red underneath here, in case you weren't aware of the placing of the feet. All right, and we shall continue with the upper part of the leg. In general, I've never built a Five Nights at Freddy's anything. Even Lego. I will generally build, if there's a good enough Star Wars set, I'll get that. But also icons and ideas sets, a lot of botanicals, Horizon, if they do more Horizon stuff, I'll do that. But it's mostly mocks that I'm doing lately. If I can get around to it, and then doing the design stuff. I'll do the design stuff so then I can part out and get whatever I need for the actual mock. Working on the big steampunk windmill and lighthouse. I'm gonna make sure I'm rebuilding that because we've got an event next month that I want to bring that to and make sure that it works properly. I'm also redoing my Mars base for next Brick Rodeo, so I can have a good display for that, be like a standalone Mars base. So we'll see how I can make that work by itself. This could have been one step. Why do you do that, Lego? And participating in, so our sister lug, there are 5 lugs, Lego user groups in Texas. We've got us in Austin, then we've got Dallas, the DFW lug, the Houston Brick Club, TBRR, which is the train guys, the Texas Brick Railroad. Most of those guys are in Austin or South Austin and into San Antonio. And then there's a San Antonio lug. So every one of them can participate in this thing that the Lego group calls project support. And you apply with a project idea that you're going to display at an event or a convention or something. So we applied, ours didn't get, our application was rejected. And I think because it was too similar to where the earth meets the sea or where the land meets the sea. And it's different types of shorelines that they're doing. So different biomes of coastal regions. Chesapeake, Galveston area, so Gulf Coast, and then Pacific Northwest or California or something like that. I forget what it is. But, they're rocky, they're smooth, they're, whatever. They're doing different biomes. So I'm going to participate, I think, in one of them. Then they're doing like a jazz club and a maze and some other, 2 other projects. So I think I'm going to participate in the shoreline one. But I've been playing a lot of Death Stranding too. So I'm like, can I make the beach? Because it's Death Stranding 2, the beach. I'm like, can I make my shoreline full of BTs and dead whales and a plucky little porter with a giant backpack full of stuff? So they're like, yeah, you can customize it however you want. I'm like, sweet. In the middle of everybody else's, like, there's a food truck and there's people fishing and there's some campers. I'm going to be like, and there's Sam Porter with his overweight backpack and his scanner, and he's untethering BTs. And I'm sure they're going to be like, qua? But they didn't say I couldn't, so we'll see how it pans out. So I need to figure out how to build Sam. And I need to figure out how to get a bunch of black minifigs and how to, like, I have an idea of how to attach them. You just put those neck collars, the neck pieces that have the one stud here on their chest, and have trunks and vines and things kind of trailing off of them. I think it'll be fun. And just fill the beach with it and put on little chiral crystal hands and maybe make his truck farther up the beach or something. A truck or a tri-caster? Not tri-caster. What's the motorcycle called? Other leg. And so we've got 2 legs. Ooh, I'm guessing this goes here because I didn't see that, and that's not an extra piece. So, despite his feet being splayed, pigeon-toed, his legs are parallel. So that gives a nice little twist to everything. All right. So we've done 3 bags in 1 hour and had to redo all of our streaming software. So that's pretty good. I'm gonna raise this up just a little so we can start seeing more of the body. So we'll put the legs over here and bag 4. Going pretty fast. These bags don't have a ton of pieces in them. I feel like every bag has fewer and fewer pieces in it lately. So you're like, well, how many bags can I do? In 1 hour, and you get an idea of how fast you can build something. And anymore, it's like, well, it used to be 2 bags an hour, now maybe 3. So there you go. Oh, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy this and I'm going to do to everybody on Blue Sky. There's 5 people on Blue Sky. I don't know which of these I can kill without killing the chat. So I'm not going to kill either of them, but whatever. All right, this is going to be his hips. And I can't see the instruction with his legs there, so we're going to move that slightly, which is fine, because you can see his legs okay there. So when you are building, I'll ask this question. When people are building, do you open the bag, and after the bag is open, Here's what I've been running into watching TikToks and Blue Sky posts and stuff, where people seem to buy a Lego set and they seem to have this delayed gratification where they will drag out a build for weeks. A build like this, which is probably 4 hours worth of building, and they'll make it last a month, right? They'll be like, all right, well, I worked on page whatever today. And I don't know if they're doing that to delay the gratification of building it, but I feel like that's an unnecessary amount of time to be doing. Anyway, part of their process is opening each bag, putting it on a space, and then sorting each part into a pile. So they would, they'd put all these 1x1 plates together. They'd put the tiles together and the slopes together and the bushings and couplings together, right? So they're doing all this work ahead of time, but I don't know that that helps their build process, or if they just like doing that. So what's your process when you're building? Do you do any of this kind of stuff? And why? And do you do multiple bags at once, or do you just do 1 bag at a time? Now, I haven't seen anything as crazy as they get a UCS set like the AT-AT or the Falcon or something and dump every bag out and sort every part. So like when you get to a step that says use these 3 1x2 plates or whatever, you're like, oh, where's my bucket of 1x2 plates? Because every bag has the instructions are going by bag. So I think the chaos of opening all the bags just to sort it is kind of wild. But again, I don't think I've seen anybody do that. But even sorting out the individual bags every time just seems to add time to it. It's like you could be building, but I feel like I build like I eat, which is really fast and get it done, but I enjoy it, you know? So it's not like I'm just doing it for fuel or I'm just doing this to get the set built. I actually do like putting things together. So maybe they do that. If a bag has 10 colors, I'll sort the colors into piles. Oh, okay. And I'll usually do 3 or 4 bags at a time because I'm doing it per stream. I don't remember the last time I built a set, honestly, that wasn't for a stream and I just built it on my own, unless it was like a real small one-off set or something. And I think maybe that's it, is if you're not really used to recognizing parts, recognizing too that different bags have different parts. If you get a bag that has 2 smaller bags in it, big parts, slightly smaller parts, even smaller parts, right? So you start to recognize where parts live in terms of the bags themselves. Like in another bag, this 1x2 would have been in a small bag, but because all these parts are small, you put them in with the bigger parts. You just need to recognize that. So like when Beth's building, she's like, I don't know where any of these pieces are, because I don't think she's to the point where she's built enough to recognize where each piece goes or what they look like. See, and this would have been a great do this but mirrored. It's the exact same thing but mirrored. I'm dump, hunt and build. And that's true, yeah. Like, because I do these streams, I'm limiting myself to building twice a week, maybe. That's if I don't take a break and do some designing. And that can stretch out. Like I've had the Venator was like a month and a half. So there's definitely that. But I'm thinking if I had the Venator just by myself, I probably would have tried to set aside the whole day. Like woke up, started working on it, and just finish it in one day. It would have taken 10 hours, but I would have tried to finish it in one day. I just can't, like, I can't leave a puzzle undone. Like I have to sit there and work on that puzzle until it's finished. So I've undiagnosed autism, I'm sure, or some form of OCD. Some sort of spiciness. That doesn't like things being unfinished. So once I'm done with Death Stranding, which I'm past the point of the game where I've finished the main story, and now I'm just running around doing everybody's individual delivery requests, and occasionally picking up like an aid request somewhere, or running around fixing up roads or finishing the monorails or setting up zipline routes, repairing things, occasionally fighting BTs. So, I mean, there's still a lot to do, but like the main story is done. This is frustrating. Is that specifically supposed to? So the next game I want to get, sadly, probably not Five Nights at Freddy's, but is Hellblade 2. I'm so excited for Hellblade 2. So Hellblade, I think this is called Senua's Revenge or Senua's Hellblade 2. Senua's Saga. The first one was Senua's Sacrifice. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous game. Not a lot of, like, the playability really didn't matter. There wasn't a tech tree. There wasn't a inventory management. You didn't have a HUD. You didn't have any spells. You basically, you were on rails for the most part. There were a couple areas where you could walk freely and kind of solve a puzzle, and it was kind of like Myst, where you had to like move a thing a certain way or pick up something or do a thing that would allow you to get further down the rail, the path. The story was you were a Norse woman whose husband had died, and you were carrying around his head because you were trying to get into the afterlife to find... It wasn't Set. I'm trying to remember who the goddess was that you were trying to find. The goddess of death. Maybe Hera. Or Hela. Because you feel like he had died before his time, and you were trying to get him to either be reborn or made sure that he got into Valhalla. I forget what her deal was, but she was basically, it was a walking mechanic game, but it was showing off her descent into madness. And it wasn't really supposed to be like a AAA game in the strictest sense of, like, you know, there's online mechanics and you can play here and you can build this up and you can do all these things. This was basically like game developers going, can we make a game that is basically like, how do we show in video game form what it's like to be schizophrenic? I think was their start. And then it was sort of like, after that, they just added to it. It was sort of like more of a madness kind of thing, like insanity, schizophrenia, dementia, not dementia, but delusions, all kinds of stuff. So there's a lot of things where you're not sure if what you're seeing is real, if it's a delusion, if it's a hallucination, if somebody's messing with you mentally. It's really great. And the whole time it's her drive to kind of fight through it and get to the end of her journey to get this thing done, to get her husband's head / soul into where it needs to be. So it's frightening and beautifully rendered, and the music's great, and the reveals are scary, and there's a lot of parts where you're just kind of watching stuff happen. And it's interesting because there's also a component where she's kind of remembering her husband, and all the flashback bits are filmed live action, and they are placed in screen with the computer generated images. So Senua is computer generated, but the memory or the hallucinogenic delusion is photographed for real, is videoed for real. So it's a real weird, because you're used to seeing the video, the FPS move in a certain way, the animation move in a certain way, and then see the reality, kind of like watching a video of something. It jars you too. So really well done. And I think they're like, yeah, we didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. It was more of an experiment. The behind the scenes of developing this game is just as interesting as the game itself. Highly recommend if you're into gaming at all. So that's probably next on my list. And they're not real long games. They're, the last one was probably just a few hours. Because it's not that kind of grind and get everything done type of game. It's literally like, this is one story. We're just telling this one story right now. So. But it's super interesting. And then after that, I don't know. I don't know what I'm waiting for. Ghosts of Yotei. 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 Long O. Yotei. Yotei. The sequel to Ghosts of Tsushima, which was a very, very good open world. If you liked Horizon Zero Dawn, which I did, if you liked Breath of the Wild, you will like these kind of games. Ghosts of Tsushima was a beautiful game. Like Horizon Zero Dawn, Forbidden West, it was gorgeous. Probably prettier, I think, than Horizon. And I love me some Horizon, but it was absolutely breathtaking. So much so, and they leaned into it a little bit. They had points where you would stop, and there would be these little hot springs areas, or not even hot springs. Hot springs, you could sit there and it would, you'd walk up to it and said, do you want to go into the hot springs? And it says yes. And you get down into your underwear or naked or whatever. And they show you kind of going into the water, and then you just kind of sit there. It says, think about something, and you can pick something to think about. Something about your uncle, something about a recent battle, something about a new friend. It's always different. But then the haiku spots, during your travels, there's little places where you can stop and do certain things. You can find a fox shrine, which would give you some extra abilities or increase your endurance or something. There are the hot springs. There's bandits all over the place. There's hideouts. There's all kinds of stuff. But then the haiku spots are like, and I built a mock. I still have it. Where you sit there and you reflect on stuff and you write a haiku. And it gives you prompts. Like there's areas you can kind of scroll around this area and pick one of the three things that it's looking at. Something about the sky, something about the trees, something about the ground. It's usually like one of those three. And then a reflection on that to be like something internal, something about, being hopeful or being living in despair or something. So, but every time you do it, you get extra. I forget what you get for the haikus. It's really cool though, because the music's beautiful and the scenery is beautiful. And I'm always showing Beth, I'm like, hey Beth, haiku spot. And she's always, what is this game? What are you playing? And I'm like, I'm writing haikus, man. Who cares? So there's a second one coming out, and it is voiced by Erika Ishii from all manner of voiceover, YouTube, things. She's on Game Changer. She's with Dropout TV people. And she does a lot of, I think she does some voices for like Vox Machina, because I think she did some Critical Role stuff. So really good for her. Like I'm really excited for her for this. And it's going to be slightly more into the future, so it's not like a direct sequel to Ghosts of Tsushima, but we'll see how it goes. All right, his hips slide on like so. And you got his hips. Nice disc version there. I would have liked those red pieces in there to be gray or black, but red works okay, I guess, for a little bit because it's an internal joint thing. There's the back of it. Not quite as underdone as most things from underneath or the back. Why do I keep losing music? All right, so bag 5, and that may be it for the day, which means next time we only have to do 3 bags. So cool. And this is going to be starting his torso. I'm guessing a lot of internal work to get it initially created or boxed up. Sometimes the focus goes away. Well, I don't know about you, but I think I'm going to stick with OBS. I had to update the ticker for the last half hour. I forgot because this was all kind of new again. Make sure that's working. So in this case, you would separate pinks, greens, grays, blacks, some of these other things. Ooh, look, that's like an old school. That's a throwback tile. That's pretty cool. It's a very Blacktron. I think it probably goes like that. That's pretty cool. All right, let's get him up here so you can see his progress. Yeah, in terms of Beth's new discovery that she likes building Lego, I'm a little... She was talking to me about this, and I feel a little... my emotions about the whole thing are a little weird. And I may talk about this when she streams with me next. They're not bad, but having like not my whole life, but my focus for the past easily the past 15 years has been Lego focused. Being part of the group, becoming an ambassador, building the Capitol, building the UT Tower. Like there's big tentpole milestones in the past few years, and they're mostly Lego related. And Beth has been there for a long time. We've been together. We just celebrated our 11-year date-iversary in August. So we've known each other for at least 11 years. In that time, she's known, hey, this nerd is really into the interlocking brick. And I've tried to include her a lot of times. You know, hey, would you like to build this thing? I think you'd like this. Yeah, that's fine. I try to keep all the Lego in this room. But in our old house, it was the same. Like, the room was even half Lego room, half art studio. Like, I was still doing art. I was still drawing and stuff. So, and then the rest of the house was just typical adult decorations, like not really functional. You know, we had a TV, we had stuff centered around the TV because we watched a lot of TV. It's a lot of stuff in the bedroom because you sleep there and you want it to be comfortable. So there's art. The kids each had their own room. We tried to keep kind of nice and simple. One of them became a guest room because after a while the kids weren't sleeping over anymore. So that became a guest room. And then the other kids' room basically became nothing. Like, it wasn't even storage or anything. It was just kind of sat there. But when we moved into this house, it was very much like this front room is Lego all the way. And so I was, have it being so much part of where we live, I was always like trying to get her involved, but not pushing it, because I know it's a personal thing. Like, if you don't like it, you don't like it. If you don't like this movie or this TV show, I'm not going to make you watch it. So I blame Lego Masters for, and to a lesser extent, our friend Justin. She started watching Lego Masters because our friend Justin was in it, and we wanted to support him. And I was like, I'll watch because you're watching and my friend's in it. Normally probably wouldn't watch. So because of that, she's like, well, this looks really cool. I think I want to do something like this. And in the back of my head, I'm like, man, I've been asking you for 10 years if you wanted to be involved. Like, did you want to go to Brick Rodeo? Do you want to build together? Do you want to do this? And she occasionally would dip in and be like, this is fine, whatever. But I always felt like she was doing it just to make me happy and not really because she liked doing it. But now, Wicked makes Lego sets. She's discovering for some reason, and I don't know how she didn't know this before, that there's all these Disney sets. She got a Simba. She's going to get the big Mickey Mouse history of Disney kind of thing. And she's like, do they make Marvel sets? I'm like, I feel like... So part of my emotional response is, what do you think I've been doing for the past, my life, 10 years specifically? Like, I'm always talking to you about this. So I feel like part of it is, oh, I see, it's not important to you if just I'm doing it, but it has to be important to you because now Will Arnett is hosting a show and you like Will Arnett a lot. Or our friend was on TV, so now you want to do it. And it got her interested. That doesn't mean that she may not have been interested before. And now she's kind of finding out it's really fun to build. It's fun to build and shut your brain off for a little bit. And she actually said, she's like, I will sit here and build, and I don't think about eating. I don't chew on my hair. I don't pick at my fingers or my eyebrows. I'm like, yeah, it's very calming. So I'm glad that she's found it. Here's more of that new orange-red color, which in the instructions looks like dark orange, but this is dark orange. So to give you a comparison. So, like, she's like, are you mad that I'm doing this? And I'm like, no, I'm not mad that you're doing it. I'm a little upset that it took you this long, and it wasn't because of what I said about the hobby that's good. I've been extolling the virtues of mindless building and getting your brain to shut off and stuff. I was like, for years, but now it's a big thing. And whatever. She discovered it on her own. She got to the place she needed to be, and that's cool. I came home last night after the soccer game, and she was on the couch with a set in front of her, watching Wicked, building a Wicked set. And I walked in, she's like, I'm almost done. I'm like, okay, well, you don't have to rush. That's very cute. Interesting. Doing some snot Technic building here. Feel like I lost some people. We officially haven't had an official release of the thing that I'm not really allowed to talk about yet, but other than that, are there any Lego sets that anyone is excited to get over the next before the end of the year? Like, have they released anything recently that looks cool to you, that you're excited for, that may not be coming out till like maybe, as a member of our lug put it, Brick Friday? Not Black Friday, but Brick Friday. Yay, thank you. So I'm definitely looking forward to the unofficially released. I can talk about this because it's not even a rumor. There's been no leaks or anything like that, but the Enterprise, if there's going to be a Star Trek set, I know there's been kind of some news about it. That's gonna be coming out, but we don't have official images. I think somebody may have posted a price and a piece count, but I don't think that's really official or anything yet. So I'm looking forward to that. That may be, So I think I'm actually getting my bonus this year. My 20-year, my anniversary bonus. I don't know if you remember the story, but last year, I thought I was getting a 20-year bonus. So I was very excited because it's $2,000. 20 years, $2,000. We've got a couple people 25 years this year. So talking to a coworker, he's like, "Oh, it's already in my account. I've already turned into retirement / spent some stuff on it." I'm like, "Cool." So last year I was really excited because I was like, I'm going to get the Venator, and then I'm going to put the rest in savings for a trip to the UK. I was really excited, and so we got some angled pieces in red. I haven't seen these before in this color, so that's cool. And again, we're just building the interior structure for all the casing around it. This is the interior stuff. So I was really excited, and I was like, all right, so I'm gonna get this, I'm gonna get that, and then I'll put the rest in savings, and we're gonna do a trip. We'd already planned. I was looking up hotels. We had an itinerary, and I told everybody too. I was like, man, I can't. I'll be here 20 years this year. That's crazy. I can't believe I worked here for 20 years. And my coworker, Derek, was like, he messaged me individually on Teams, and he said, your hire date was 2005, December 5th, 2005. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you didn't start in 2004. So I think what happened is my brain I started working here in 2005 because 2005 was like the first full year I worked here. Getting hired in December, you might as well just say you started the next year because it's like 1 month in there. So I think that was my brain saying that. These cool pieces in red. That's pretty cool. And so that's the only thing I can think of why I thought that, because I have just the same ability to go into our help desk or our HR software and see what my actual hire date was. And cognitively, I knew 2005 should be December 2005. So I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, it says you were hired December of 2005. So this December won't be 20 years. I'm like, oh my God. So luckily, and so I was like, well, that's all my plans are squashed. So luckily we still got, I think we got a Christmas bonus for something. We had done a transition to something, and they were very happy about the work we did. So getting some of the outside stuff built here. So they were very happy about some stuff, and so they gave us like a year-end bonus or something. And I was like, well, I'll use that. And it wasn't a ton, but it was enough to get a UCS Venator. So I was like, well, I'll do that. And then I'll just save up the rest during the course of the year for our trip. That was until Little Miss, where are you? Little Miss right there had needed another surgery, so that basically wiped out our savings and maxed out a couple credit cards. So starting over, which means hopefully bonus at Christmas this year will be nice, and I can put that in the savings because I don't think there's any sets that I really want that are going to be a UCS set around Christmas. There was a UCS set for Star Wars Day this year that I'm just like, I don't care about that. I don't remember what it was. Slave One, another Jango Fett or Boba Fett starship. So I'm like, yeah, no, don't care. Excuse me. Which is good. Anytime Lego makes something and I say don't care about that, that's good. In white too, we've got these in white. Speed Champions coming to save everybody with the cool parts. And this makes a nice, it's officially 2 bricks high snot brick, right? Because 2 of these together wouldn't be spaced really well. So this is like, actually it's like a brick and 2/3 height, which is good because this is like, if you looked at, I don't have just a regular brick, but that's the spacing of a regular brick, but you've turned it on its side now, and it's not a bracket. So that's pretty cool. Because the snot bricks of the same size have like a space at the bottom. So this is just kind of a great way to get that without going over the bottom. So these are good pieces, these round 2/3 height brick pieces. All this to make a ball joint with some bricks on the side of it. So that's probably going to be his head up top, would be my guess. And I feel like this is kind of a nod. You're putting that cool tile in there. It's kind of a nod to be like, that's his programming inside. Because I tell you what, if that's going to be hidden, I might steal this back and use it for like a Blacktron something, and then just put a blank tile in there or something, because that's a neat tile. Well, if nothing new is coming out that you want this holiday season, that gives you the opportunity to then maybe go find something from previous years that you didn't get. Or because our group just can't seem to not spend on stuff, actually catch up on a bulk program or something. Or pay off one. Man, I'm going to start another bag. We did 6 bags. Like I said, not a lot of parts in these, and it's it's all system. There's not a lot of Technic. So a lot of this goes together real quick. Ah. So the gray one goes up top here. And it falls down into there like that, which is then fastened in place with that. So you got a nice angle. Yeah, I have a feeling that's going to be covered a little bit, but we'll see. Got extra pieces, and we got 15 minutes. Bust into bag 6. So what this means is I will probably I need to go do a Bricks and Minifig visit. My problem with going to Bricks and Minifigs is I don't have the patience to dig through those bins looking for parts, because I know usually exactly what parts I need, and it's not a lot. Like for your city, my guess is like I need a lot of these one plates, or I need a lot of whatever plants or these railings or something. So you can kind of dig through and go, yeah, I'm going to need a good bag of parts. I'm like, I need 4 parts specifically. And you know, I don't want to dig through 3 tables worth or 6 tables worth of parts just to see if they have it. So I get real frustrated because I don't find them immediately. But I also need to take advantage of kind of their minifigure, the little balls where you spend like $3 and get a minifigure or whatever, or the buildable minifigures, and just get like default minifig parts. And I kind of need to start taking the minifigures I have apart and putting them in some sort of storage. Okay, which way do you want me to do this? Okay, that way. Because I realized when I was putting the Megaspark City together, I didn't have a lot of just like, I had 3 minifigures that I put on there. And Lori had like a tackle box full of minifigures. I was like, you got a lot of minifigures. She goes, do you want extra? I have extra. And she just put like 20 on my set. Yeah. And I think too, I might start doing colors of sets or colors of parts and just like wipe them out of all gray or all black or something. Because I know I need certain... sometimes I just run out of like 1x2 plates. Man, I'm getting really good at that. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but sticker placement is getting really fun. Don't get me wrong, I still don't like putting stickers on stuff, but here's something that may be distracting. These wedge plates, the right and left wedge plates, if one bag has the left side, another bag is going to have the right side. So one bag left side, another bag right side. And that may not be something you pick up as a new builder right away. You may just be looking around here going, oh, I found one. Why can't I find the parts to the other one in this one bag that I've dumped out? But if you're sorting through it instead, you might go, oh, that's why, you know. But then it'll throw you and have both of these in one bag because they're bigger. These are bigger. Oh, brewery. God, that's another project I want to do. Where's the Five Nights at Freddy's guy? I think I lost him when the the server went down. But that's another thing I really want to finish out is Growler. I want to build Growler, but I think I have enough parts for it. I just need to do it. And I don't know, maybe if I want to build it as I go or design it and build it. That may be one where I'm like, maybe I just build it as I go. It's hard to tell. Because I've got a bunch of little mugs. They've changed stuff, so I need to be able to build like a little tent outside that has a bunch of chairs in it. Right now, all I can think about is wanting to go back and play more of the Death Stranding game. See, this is... I hate these kind of stickers. In reality, all you see is the lighter white square, but there's all those light gray pieces in there too. I'm like, could this not have been printed? Like, I understand some stickers, but... The other thing I'm finding out about sticker placement is go with your gut. Just be confident, just kind of go. I think a lot of what people run into is a lot of jittering because they're worried about being so careful. And at the end of the day, you're just putting a sticker on a piece of plastic. When you're done doing it and you put it up on a shelf, the only person who's going to care about that sticker placement is you. And you're going to care for all of like 10 minutes. Until that gets put up there, and then you won't care anymore. So, but that's the same kind of advice I give to Beth about her anxiety, and that's just be perfect. Just don't worry about it. You can't really tell that to people. I try, but you just can't. That's a discussion I think she would have if she were on here, is the misconceptions about anxiety. How people approach that. If they are not someone who suffers from anxiety, and what anxiety is actually like. Another nice 2x2 rounded. Oh, getting schmancy with some of these parts. Alright, so we got these clip or bar with rounded plate on top of the tiles with the pips. Turned at 45 degrees. Or I'm guessing 45 degrees. It's a good look. It's a good greebling or mechanical thing to do. If you were doing mechs, this would be good for small mechs, that kind of configuration. Okay, so this is hidden. So remember that if you want that, and it's not hidden in such a way that you could probably take that off later. And I think it's set up to be easily removed to see the internal. And then you can lift this. I think you can lift this. No, not anymore. If you take that pin out, you can lift this up and get to that tile. So if you want that tile, remember that this step covers it up. So I may go through and break that back out. I think any local brewery would love to have their space be built out of Lego. I remember, or any local business in general, I think. Oh, I need to email that dude about the truck too. We had a guy email our group and say, hey, does anybody want to design or build a truck for us? Here's some other cool parts. These are 1x4 curved wedges, right and left. You have to say wedges because wedges means that there's a right and a left. Slopes means it's symmetrical. So that's what I've come to learn. And that's filling in an area in there pretty nicely. And we get these requests every once in a while, and it's usually a business. And they're like, hey, we want to do something Lego related. And I always say, okay, cool. What's your budget? Because I think there's a misconception that Lego is easy to make and Lego people just will give you the bricks they have in their collection to make their vision happen. And Lego, how expensive could Lego be? It's $20 to get a set for my kid. So I think there's you need to like early on be like, okay, well, what's your budget? How big is the thing that you need? Wow, this just sits in there? All right. So this step is just that. It just sits in there. So I'm guessing the head comes out here and holds that in place because there's nothing holding that. I don't even think twisting these bits makes any difference. So we'll see. This looks like if you put another piece on it, it'll hold it a little better. Yeah, so if you put that one piece on it now, it doesn't come off. So, but it's friction built. There's nothing else in there. That's pretty cool. At this point, it looks like a high-end washing machine. All right, so turn it around. Going a little past noon to finish this bag. And then honestly, I may finish the other 2 bags on my own. I'll post pictures on Discord or Blue Sky about the finished product. But I think once this is done, it'll be the head and both arms, and then that'll be it. Doesn't it? It looks like something. You know what it reminds me of? I don't know if this is still a thing enough for people to know about it, but those sweat machines that you get in a tank and it closes up around your head and inside is either ice or hot. And it's supposed to like help you lose weight or with body ache, joint muscle problems or something like that. But it was this thing that kind of closed around you. And you know, you probably sat on something inside like a chair and then it just pumped in hot air or hot, moist, wet, humid air or something. That's what it reminds me of. Or for you Star Trek fans, it looks like Captain Pike's wheelchair. Oh, that's another thing. Because Beth hasn't been able to get rid of Paramount yet, but everybody needs to get rid of Paramount because it's an awful company. And we don't need to give them any money. But she's still watching her MTV shows, her Challenge, Road Rules things. So I'm watching Strange New Worlds. And it's pretty good. Like, I've been enjoying it. And I hope that... Oh man, did I use the wrong... No, that's right. Strange New Worlds is great Star Trek. I like it a lot. I like it because it's episodic. They've got a problem to fix that one episode, and then the next episode's another different problem to fix. And I like that kind of show. There is sort of an overarching, like there's one big problem that we'll run into, but in the meantime, here's all the individual episodes, and I like that a lot. I will go on record in saying I did not like Discovery. I did not like Picard. And yes, even the third season of Picard with all the member berries in it, I was like, it's still not awesome. It's slightly more awesome because Riker and Geordi and Troy are in it, but that doesn't make it like 100% better. Anyway, I'm digging on it too much. I don't think I'm going to watch Starfleet Academy. I had really high hopes for the idea of a show about Starfleet Academy, but I saw the trailer for it and I'm like, wow, that looks gross. It just doesn't look good. I don't know what it is, but it just looks really boring. So maybe my mind will be changed and somebody will watch it and go, oh no, you guys are sleeping on this, and I'll give it a shot. But in the meantime, Strange New World is great. And I want a fourth season of The Orville like yesterday. I wish Seth MacFarlane wasn't, whatever he's doing to not get that done. Because The Orville is one of the best Star Treks. So it's hard to tell from just watching the instructions, but the curvature and the way they're getting all the pieces aligned and snug together is really nice on this. It's very compact and very the shape is very nice. That one little hair in there is really cool too. So it's very pleasing, solid build for the body. So yeah, Strange New Worlds is good. Also watching Alien Earth, which is pretty good. It's got a very good aesthetic. The opening few scenes of it almost exactly look like the opening of Alien. Like the same camera angles, the same lighting. The cast even looks like they're just recreating the characters in the cast from the 1979 movie. There's even a cat. There's an orange cat. It's quite fun. And then after the opening, it takes its own turns and does its own thing for a little bit. And I see where they're kind of going with it. And I'm hoping it doesn't fall apart on it. But I'm enjoying it so far. And then Foundation has started up again. So we're a few episodes into that. And I can't remember how good, like when I was watching it, how good season 2 was. And I remember everybody saying season 1 was really bad. And I remember it being hard to watch just because it felt like it was really, really dry science fiction. But, not to the point where I felt it was unwatchable. But season 3 so far has really cranked it up a notch. Like the effects are great. It looks like they spent a lot of money on it. The actors are all chewing up the scenes. My problem, I think, with it, and this is only because I've read the story, is I feel like they're trying to do too much too fast. And they're not like allowing some of the story to breathe a little bit. Here's one of these newer octagon pieces. It's got fewer, it's a little more regimented on where you can put the clips. It's a little more solid of a ring, which is an interesting thing they did. They're like, nope, let's make it so you absolutely know where to put all your clips on this. So that's very good. I've been enjoying that. And as always, Lee Pace is gorgeous, and he chews up all the scenes. And in this, it's funny. He's kind of like a mixture between Jesus and the Dude. He's very laid back, and he's stoned most of the time. But you know, it's Lee Pace, so he's also very tall and big, long, flowing hair. And the actor's not stoned, like legitimately the character's on spores or something in the show. But he's the Emperor, right? Or he is Empire. And he's just really good. Oh, that all came apart. But knowing what's going to happen, because I've read the books, I'm kind of just waiting for certain things to kind of happen. And maybe that's why I feel like it's not, or it's rushed, because I'm anticipating the next thing to happen. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I'm not really sure. Strange New Worlds, Alien Earth, Foundation. I think those are the big shows that I'm watching. And again, all very good. This is going to be cool. This is a shoulder. Yeah. Oh, that's so nice. That just looks really good. And fit in there very good. This is one of those steps. Building that and knowing that it just slides in like that. With the pin or the axle going there. These two half pins right there to kind of stabilize it. I don't know that I could ever come up with something like that instruction-wise. Like building out the model, I might be able to do something like that, but I forget about snot building when I'm doing stuff. Honestly, it doesn't come up. I need to get back into building stuff where you know, a spaceship where most of the sides are snot built and at angles and stuff. Because it can afford you a little more creativity. So it's really pleasing to see that. All right, so Thursday will probably be another studio day. I'm tempted to do, let's see, we've done Horizon, we've done Q2. I think we'll do a microfighter. I'll finish up Saw Gerrera's ship, and then we'll start another one and get a couple more ready to part out. So I can have some, because I think I want to do that for Brick Rodeo, is display microfighters again. But I want to figure out a different way to display them. Like, I think the way I have now is a little too clunky, and it's a lot of extra material to pack to get it built, or to get it displayed. So I'll need to be thinking about that, and need to be thinking about what Beth is going to do a mock for Brick Rodeo. She's probably going to be doing a mosaic, and it will likely be of her late dog, because that's what's important to her. So we'll need to register that. So yeah, that's what's coming up. So yeah, Thursday Microfighter Day. Since we're just about done here. Again, thank you guys for hanging out. I hope you have a good rest of your Sunday. Get some rest, relax, take it easy. We'll be back at the grind again tomorrow. So no reason to go crazy today. But there we go. Extra pieces. And we've got a torso. All right, so we've got his torso. Cool. All right, guys, thanks again for hanging out with me. I appreciate you sticking in through the technical difficulties. Yeah, I think I'm back on OBS. I didn't like the fact that Prism just shut down on me a bunch of times, so we'll just stick with this for a little bit, and I'll see if I can develop some new layouts or whatever for OBS, and we'll go from there. So yeah, take care, guys. I'll talk to you Thursday. Have a good week, and we'll see you soon. Bye.